I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. With everything going on, all the COVID stuff, I've been doing some streaming. Haven't really done a lot of YouTube stuff. That's going to change. I've got some stuff that's been in the mix for a long time that I finally got around to really buckling down and getting my scripts ready and getting the process kind of restructured. With everything that's been going on, it's been a little turbulent for everybody. I went from ramping up to doing a lot of these events this year to doing none, and then I got quarantined away from the vault for all of April, and then we got May and June, and just things have been turbulent from that structure. Everything's been going crazy. Everybody's been doing a bunch of stuff. The world is changing in that weird way that it only happens once in 100 years, I guess. I don't know. I've not been around that long. But I keep laughing when I think about what life was like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 40, 50, 60 years ago. You start looking at these timelines and how everything is just kind of shifting and changing, but everything's still the same. And that, I think, is what is most disconcerting, is that here we are 100 years after, our plague. I mean, I had a friend of mine threw a birthday party, and it was a 20s themed, and I just wanted to show up wearing the plague mask, those big raven beak looking plague masks, and they're going to be like, oh, that's, but I didn't have one, so I just, I didn't. I went early, hung out with my one friend, and then it was like, okay, bye, people are showing up, and get the fuck out of here, because at the end of the day, I can't chance getting or spreading this virus. Fortunately, the party was actually really well thought out. They had everybody that did show up was wearing masks. Lots of hand sanitizer everywhere. I mean, you do have to take a mask off to eat, so that's the thing that was going to happen. But otherwise, people were really conscientious. Somebody brought a baby to the party, and I was just like, what are you doing? I'm going to get out of here before the baby gives us the coronavirus. No, I'm kidding. No, it was an interesting event. But enough about that. You guys are not interested. Well, maybe you are. I don't know. I just ramble inconsistently on these things. I know I've got some people have been saying, hey, man, I'd like to see more, product reviews. I'm like, well, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't like doing product reviews. And part of the reason why I don't like doing them is that most of the stuff that I would do a review on, I have to have it for the better part of 8 months before I'm willing to give it my stamp of approval. Because if you've got a device that you're like, this thing is the most amazing thing ever. How long have you been using it? 6 hours. Okay. You think it's awesome because of features. That's a good selling point, sure. But if the thing's got a year warranty and 9 months into your 9 months into your warranty, the shit breaks and you got to get it redone, and then they do it, and then they don't extend your warranty to the new one, and then 8 months later, the new one breaks. Well, now you're just SOL. Or my personal favorite is that you've got that, 12-month limited warranty. At 12 months and 2 days, the shit just goes, we're done. Have a nice day. And that's it. And then you're SOL anyway. You've got it for a year. And then you have to amortize the price. Like, this thing cost me $350. That means you spend $1 a day on a device, and you're going to continue to spend $1 a day on a device if you want to continue using it. I have this really awesome pair of SteelSeries. I think they're called the 800 headphones. They're wireless. They've got 2 batteries that swap in and out. I had one when it was just called the H Wireless. Now I think it's the H800 or something. And I did a video on it. And by that I mean I recorded a video on it, and I handed it off to the editor. It never got edited, never got uploaded, so it just never got seen the light of day. And now it's 4 years old, and the things I had to say about it then are mostly still true, except for the fact that the base unit that charges the battery after 3 weeks, the graphic that was on the screen that used to, like, battery charger shows the increase, showing that it is actually charging, stopped displaying the progress and just showed a fully charged battery when you plug in the battery, and you're like, well, now I know it's charging, just leave it in there. And then after 2.5, 3 years and traveling across the country twice, it just stopped working. And that's a $400 pair of headphones. So when you get it, like I said, you amortize that over 4 years. that's not a bad investment. That's $100 a year, which divide by 365, you get the idea. You're looking at like, a quarter a day. That's an arcade game. But that's a good. I think that's a good deal when you look at 4 years of time. And the fact that the problem I have with it is the headphones still work just fine. It's the bass unit, which is also the thing that communicates between the headphones and the computer. It stopped working altogether. Not just the battery piece, but like the whole rest of it. It stopped charging. It stopped charging altogether. And then in which case I'm like, all right, well, there's it. You can't replace the batteries. When I drove across the country from New York to Seattle, the batteries I had like swelled up when I went up and over the mountains. I'm going to blame that, the altitude shift. And what I ended up seeing was I had to contact SteelSeries. I'm like, hey, is there a way to get replacements for these? Because this is what they look like. And fortunately, they were like, hell yeah, and they sent me new ones. And that was awesome. But then, not even a year later, the whole unit shit the bed. And there's no replacing that. Because at that point, it's 4 years into it. It's like, what do you got to do? Like, I just need the base unit. I just needed to repair it. Like, is there a way to repair it? What's going on? Why is this breaking? Like, hey, SteelSeries, what's going on? Otherwise, it's a great pair of headphones, and they work really, really well. The microphones on, like, most gaming headsets are adequate. I wouldn't say they're fantastic. They're adequate. And compared to most of the microphones that I use, not headphones, but most of the microphones I use, you can distinctly tell the quality difference. People are like, holy crap, man, it's like you're sitting in the same room versus your 1970s, fighter combat. Whatever, that's every gaming headset sounds like that in my mind. They're adequate. They do the job. Anyway, my point is I don't like doing product reviews. And then I just did one on the SteelSeries H800. They're really fantastic. The new one that I got, within a month, the battery light stopped blinking like it was. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is just a thing that it's going to do. I would like to see them fix it. Not like just mine, but I'd like to see them fix it completely. But I can't go out and buy another $400 pair of headphones to see if they fixed it. I don't have the relationship with SteelSeries that I used to, which is unfortunate. But that's why I don't like doing product reviews. Because I use the device for, a week, and I give it the rigmarole rundown. I'm like, okay, we'll do all this stuff, and it works great. And then, as soon as the video is done and uploaded, then it shits the bed. Not that anything's really done that to me, but that's my mentality about it. I don't like reviewing things. I would rather do videos about things that I'm building, but that costs extra. I like to do videos on projects that I'm working on, mods that I'm making, which is what is coming up. So I've got a mod video for the the X52 HOTUS from Sci-Tech, now Logitech. I had an issue where after a couple of years of flight abuse, the connecting cable started giving me problems. Where it would disconnect while I was flying, and it's mainly because when I pull back on the flight stick, I pop it off the desk and it would rock back and forth and it would just wiggle the cable. But after a while, those connections just stop being solid in the connector. The pins are fine, the connector is solid on the board. It's just the actual pins in the slots were disconnecting just enough. Sometimes it would disconnect and go away, which was fine because I just disconnect and reconnect. But sometimes it would just disconnect and reconnect immediately without having me to do anything. But when you're pulling back on the flight stick and it disconnects and reconnects the flight stick, that becomes the 0 point. So when you let go of the flight stick, suddenly you're in a dive, or you're forward and suddenly you're pitching up, pitching down, rolling, whatever, and just you're playing. Your spacecraft is flying in every goddamn direction. Anyway, so I got that one coming up. I've also got. I'm going to do some more OpenWRT stuff. I want to dig into that a lot more. I want to get back into doing the Qain University videos. Those I really like doing them. Sometimes I get lost because there's a lot of it's an educational thing. So you want to give enough information to cover the topic that you're talking about, with enough hooks to talk, to lead into other conversation pieces. It's like, you don't go to school and you don't go into a classroom and you learn everything in one day. Unfortunately, my problem is that when I reference something that I think you should know, and I go, oh, I haven't talked about that ever, I immediately feel compelled to inform you of it, which is why these videos run on the way they do, and why, if you ever watch my streams, you can go ahead and check out the streams over on Twitch, that it's really just a stream of consciousness where I will be talking about something, it will remind me of something else, or I will recognize that whatever I just referenced might not make any sense to half of the audience, and instead of letting everybody just kind of diddle around with it, I will explain it, because then it's not so much that I think that they can't look it up, it's that I feel compelled to hand over the information as I understand it. And part of that is because when I have explained things in the manner that I understand it, people have expressed to me that it was a better explanation than they've gotten previous from teachers, from YouTube videos, from school, from whatever. It's just that whatever reason, my ability to explain those things in the moment are less long-winded, I guess, but more understandable in the grander scheme of things. So I'm hoping you'll see more of those. I'm hoping to do more Twitch streams, more consistent with that. The problem when I do with Twitch streams, if I'm doing 12-hour Twitch streams, which is what I usually do, not because I think that 12 hours is a golden number, I'm working on stuff, so I get kind of into it, and then I'm just streaming for 12, 18, 20 hours, and I don't do that. I got to a point where I realized that if I set my camera up and I can swivel it to my kitchen, I can stop and make dinner, and suddenly it's cooking with Qain, and interlude with we've switched shows from electronics with Qain and tinkering with Qain to cooking with Qain and back to gaming with Qain. It's like and it's just it's one stream. That's not even like a different stream or different videos. It's just one stream, and it's because that's once I'm doing it, I now have a conversation, an open dialogue with people who are who are hanging out and asking questions and enjoying themselves. So if you don't already, I would highly recommend going over and checking out my Twitch channel. That's at twitch.tv/DeusQain. You can probably find a link down in the description. And if you want to see more of the kind of things I've described in this very long-winded video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. If you've got nothing but nasty stuff to say, make it funny for everybody, not just me. Anyway, I think that's it. I'm done. Catch you guys later.